What is up, my movie lovers? I got a new review for y'all today. This one is The Watchers. I just left theaters 2 hours ago from seeing The Watchers. It's cool. It's cool. I'm giving it 6 stars. I'm just going to give it the rating right off the bat. And actually, this time, this review matches my out of theater review that I do when I leave the theater. So this movie is about a woman who's traveling. I think it was set in Ireland. She's traveling across country to bring somebody a bird. She gets lost, essentially. Her vehicle stops working. She gets lost and ends up trapped in a box. Well, I won't say a box. You ever watch those tiny home shows on, like, what's the name of that channel? Is it HGTV? That's what it is. I used to watch that channel all the time with my mom. Anyway, those tiny house shows and stuff. So she basically gets trapped in a tiny house with 3 other people who are also trapped in the tiny house. And one side of the tiny house is all glass. There's nothing in there but a table, a couch, a TV, and I think that's it. And every night, the quote unquote watchers come and they watch them from the other side of the glass. Now, the glass is one of those double-sided like interrogation glasses, so, or mirrors, windows, whatever you want to call it. So they can't see out, but the watchers can see in. Strangely enough, though, when the sun rises, they can then see out, but at nighttime they can't see out. So essentially, there's a set of rules that they're governed by inside the box or the house. We don't know who made these rules, but they have to live by these rules. I think, well, that would be a spoiler, so I can't say that. So that's the gist of the movie. It's a horror movie. It's written and directed by, I want to say her name is Ishana. I've been trying to make sure I pronounced it right all night. I think that's correct. Ishana Night Shyamalan, which we all know her dad, M. Night Shyamalan. He did Unbreakable in, I want to say, the 90s. Unbreakable is one of my favorite movies. And then the sequel that came many years later, which was Mr. Glass, but the movie split with John McAvoy, where he had like 20 something personalities. Split is also in that universe. But yeah, like I said, M. Night Shyamalan, he produced this movie, and Ishana wrote and directed it. It's also based on a book. I don't know the author of the book. I haven't read the book. I don't know how closely related the movie is to the book, but this is also Ishana's directorial debut as far as movies go. M. Night Shyamalan has a show on Apple TV called Servant. I think it's 6 seasons. I've watched the entire series. It was really good. It's a horror series. She wrote 10 episodes on that show. So directed. So she's directed before, but this is her first feature film direction. She's got a couple of other things. I think she was assistant director on M. Night Shyamalan's movie Old. I read a little bit. I didn't do a whole lot of research, but I did a little bit of research. But she did a great job with a dad like that, what do you expect? So she did a great job. I don't have anything negative to say about the film. Well, let me go back. Nothing as bad as, one of my previous reviews, but it was entertaining. There was a twist. Of course, I won't give any details on the twist, but the twist, it felt unnecessary. Even before the twist came, had the movie ended at that point before then, I would have been okay with it ending right there. At that point, it felt like there was an A, a B, and a C. It felt complete. It felt like, okay, we can end this right here and it'll be fine. Had that happened, it would have been a short movie. And I felt that, like, at that time, I was like, oh, this was short. But then the twist came and added another 25 plus minutes. At that point, it started to seem, I won't say forced, but unnecessary. We didn't really need that last 25 or so minutes. And honestly, at that point, the horror, actually, no, before that, the horror was gone. So This movie did well in terms of horror and suspense because we had no idea who or what the Watchers were. You know that weird noise that the little demon made in The Grudge, that little throat crackling noise that I'm pretty sure most of us did it when we were kids. That little that weird sound. So you got that combined with figures or like little shadows that we can't see scurrying through the woods, and like little gurgles and garbles and whatever you want to call them. So that type of sound design, with also not allowing us to see what's in the woods, it creates terror. The unknown is usually scary. Most times the unknown is going to be scary. But once they revealed what the Watchers were, you've shown your hand. And now it's no longer as frightening as it was. A couple of things happened after we were made privy to what they were that kind of did instill a little bit of fear, but nowhere near as bad as when we didn't know. So at this point, everything after this will be spoilers. So if you have not seen The Watchers yet, go and watch it. The actual premiere day is listed as today, but I do know people who saw it yesterday. So it's been out technically 2 days. So again, everything after this will be spoilers. It's fairies. It's freaking fairies. Now, with me watching Supernatural, I love the show Supernatural with, Sam and Dean. Well, their real names, Jared Padalecki and Jensen Ackles. I watched Paranormal Activity. Why was I about to say Paranormal Activity? I watched Supernatural from beginning to end. I want to say it was 15, 16 seasons. I've seen them all. When I saw the figure of the fairies, I thought it was a Wendigo. Again, if you've seen Supernatural, you know what that is. If you haven't, you're like, what the hell? But yeah, I thought it was a Wendigo, which I think Wendigos are shapeshifters. But anyway, yeah, they're like shape-shifting fairies. They're really like Slender Man. You ever seen Slender Man? They're built like Slender Man, but they're shape-shifting fairies, essentially. That took all the mystique away. It took all the fear away, because now I'm in the theater like, I'm not scared of a fairy. I don't care anymore. And then the part where I mentioned it felt like the movie could have ended, they were able to escape the woods that they were in. So essentially the fairies, first of all, let's go back a little bit. The lore on these fairies is that many years ago, I would say, I don't know, maybe like before Christ times or something. I don't know. They didn't get that specific. The fairies lived among us, and they were worshipped as gods and even as friends. And they also even had children with some of the actual people. But humans, as humans do, began to fear the power that the fairies could be capable of had they decided to, use their power, is the best way to put that. And so the humans were like, okay, we're going to beat them to the punch. And they locked them underground in the forest. Now, the movie doesn't go, this is my personal question. The movie doesn't go into any spell binding that was done or any ritualistic work that was done to keep them trapped underground, or even how they kept them trapped in a forest. I don't understand that, because again, with me watching Supernatural from beginning to end and me loving horror movies and all of this kind of stuff, I would assume that there were sigils or symbols or like runes or something on the outskirts of the forest that these entities cannot pass. But they didn't go into that. So I guess it's up to the audience to figure that part out. But all it says is that they trapped them underground, but they ended up finding a way out, which is how they became Watchers. They found a way out, but they can't leave the forest. That's the thing. So they found a way from underground, but they can't leave the forest. That doesn't make sense to me, but I'll leave that there. Anyway, the people that were trapped in the house, they found a way out of the forest and they left by boat. The plot twist is that one of the people that was in the house was actually one of the shapeshifters who happened to be different from the others. So all the others, like vampires, they can't be out in the daylight. This one was a daywalker. She was a daywalker because she was the daughter of a human and a shapeshifter, you know, together. So that's why she was able to basically live among the others. And she ended up escaping with them. There's a part in the movie where the guy who built the tiny house, he left some video footage behind that basically told whoever was unlucky enough to find his recordings that he's probably dead now. And they need to go to the university where he used to work and destroy all of his research on the shapeshifters and the forest. So one person went to the university when they escaped to do just that, and she ended up finding a lot of information. That information led her to believe that one of the people who was in the house with them was a shapeshifter. She was correct. That person tried to kill, or that shapeshifter tried to kill them, and this part was even worse. She was able to talk sense into the shapeshifter and convince that one shapeshifter that she may be able to change the hearts and minds of the other shapeshifters. So she grows wings and she flies away, literally. Now that's significant because in the lore that she found at the professor's office that she was reading said that they used to have wings. When the humans bound them to the ground, I guess they either lost them or they cut them off or something like that. So all of a sudden when her heart was changed, her wings grew back. Whatever. That's neither here nor there. So that's the twist. Again, I only do the spoiler section because I know I actually have friends that prefer to know what happened and then they'll go watch it. You know what I mean? So there's something for everybody. If you don't like spoilers, then the first half is for you. If you do, then the second half. First of all, if you don't like spoilers, why are you still here? Anyway, that's neither here nor there either. So The Watchers, again, came out yesterday. Runtime is, I didn't look this time. Most times I generally look and see exactly what the runtime is. I'm going to guess that this was about an hour and 30 minutes. Typical, about 90 minutes. I enjoyed it, though, up until the fairy part. Again, only because that made it no longer scary. I'm not going to recommend that people don't watch this. I think it was good enough to watch. I won't lie. I feel like it can be saved for HBO Max or whatever it comes out on when it's streaming. You don't necessarily have to take a trip to the theater, but it's worth the view. So this is something that I'm going to be doing more often. If you want to see more of these reviews, please remember to like and subscribe and share these videos. I will be back next time. Actually, tomorrow I'm going to go see Bad Boys. I'm pretty sure I don't have to do a review on that. I may not. Who knows? But the coming months are chock full of movies. Like, let me look at my calendar real fast. So we have, well, they're not actually even on my calendar. I'm talking. Oh, okay. No. So June 28th, we have A Quiet Place, Day 1. You know I'm going to review that. And give me a moment, actually, because I like to try to get to the movies on time so that I can watch the trailers and see what's coming. We have The Bike Riders coming June 21. That is not yet on my calendar. We have Maxine coming July 5th. So Maxine, to get ready for Maxine, go watch Pearl on, I think Pearl is on Hulu. You might have to have the Showtime subscription, but go watch Pearl. Pearl actually came second to X. Pearl is the prequel. X is the original technically, and Maxine is going to be the third film in the trilogy, installment, saga, whichever one. After seeing the Maxine preview and having watched Pearl and X, I don't feel like they're related. I kind of think it's an anthology trilogy of sorts, but definitely gonna watch that. Maxine is gonna be more. Well, actually, they were all slasher horror. Maxine is following that same pattern, except it's more modern. Speak No Evil with John McAvoy is gonna be September 13th. Beetlejuice September 6th. Trap August 9th. I do not know this man's name, the main character in Trap. I should know it. I want to say it's Josh something. But anyway, Trap looks really good. And then Never Let Go, September 27th. So those are much further out. So coming up, like I said, June 21, Bike Riders. June 28th, A Quiet Place Day 1. We'll keep those in mind for now. Then Maxine, July 5th. So again, like, subscribe, share. I will be back with more. Peace.